can't remember where I had. No, that's not where the face goes. Chat, my face is in the wrong spot. Hold on. There we go. I keep getting confused with front mission. Front mission's over there. This one's down here. It is at the bottom. Let's see. My voice is not much better. I might not be doing as much talking in today's stream as I normally do. But I want to make sure we're live first, too. Before I keep going. Bro, that's gotta be the funniest thing. Well, welcome, Jay. Hold on, make sure. I'm lying. I had to put a like on a video because holy crap, that is hilarious. There's this. It has to do with a certain game that was released over in the UK. There's so many memes coming out for it now. The memes have taken over and completely obliterated what the game was even trying to basically force on people's minds. It's so great. Leave it to a purposeful entertainment to ruin their path. But welcome. Alright, I'm just watching the blizzard destroy the outside right now. I ain't going nowhere anytime soon. Probably gonna be stuck in here for a few days. But how much snow, I mean, it depends, I guess, when it blows out, how hard the sun is, gets back in and how quick. It could technically, what you call it, melt pretty fast, but problem is there's so much of it that some of it's probably going to take so long to melt that even after most of it's gone, all that water is going to freeze over on certain parts of the road and stuff, so even then, I'm actually quite impressed right now because it's like, man, I haven't seen this kind of snow in a long time, especially in the south, although I am in North Carolina, but even in Georgia, I remember something like this kind of happening in Georgia a long time ago. But I have not been stuck in this kind of snow. Hello, Arknight, how's your day been? It's turned into pure winter wonderland outside. I feel like Elsa's about to walk into my house. Which I wouldn't be against. Anyways, but But welcome back to Arknights Endfield. Oh man. Yeah, at this point, if I were outside, I'm gonna put it in perspective. I mean, y'all haven't really seen the chair too well, except for when I drive away from the camera. But to show you how deep it is, the car next door to me, sitting up on more level ground near the road, the snow is up to halfway up the tire. So, yeah. Christmas came late. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, man. It's a good thing we got it. The only worry I have during these is if the power lines get too cold and get frozen over and it kills the electricity. So for some reason, just to give everyone a heads up just in case, if the stream just decides to disappear, it's because the internet, or not the internet, the power went out because the lines froze up. So, I don't think it's that bad. I mean, it's cold out there, but I don't think it's It's cold enough for the snow to do its thing, but it's not like ice either. But welcome, welcome. Y'all can hear me good, right? Make sure y'all can hear me. I'm gonna turn my phone up real quick. Testing, testing. Ah, just making sure. Just making sure. Give it a few more. We're gonna give it a couple more minutes, see if anyone else gets to jump in before we start. Because we're gonna be doing a little bit of factory stuff today. So, first, mostly the explosives. So we can have them with us when we go exploring and heading to the next area for the next boss. So we can get as many secrets on the way. That's kind of the way I do RPGs, because I have a bad habit with RPGs because it's part of my OCD. If I don't do it now, I'm probably either going to forget about it later, completely, or I'm just not going to care. It's like my OCD would be like, nope, I'm just going to leave it. It's done. We failed. It's failure. If Foster isn't here in 10 seconds, well, if Foster isn't here in 10 seconds, I'm going to start the stream and we're going to pretend you didn't say it. We're gonna just acknowledge that the universe must remove all Teos. Someone get me my Infinity Gauntlet. I know what I'm snapping now. But I got another cool video for the vlog now. It's similar to the NVIDIA one that was made by Skybrow. But there's a new one that was inspired by Skybrow's latest one that has to do with that British game that got absolutely trounced. And now the character they tried to make into the villain of the game has now become everyone's heroess and the lady that everyone aspires to meet. You know what's the best about this too? Britain was defeated by a Slanesh Daemonette. That's it. If I had a thumb, like some thumbs and hands, double thumbs up. But either way. But, alright, well, it's been about 10 seconds or so. Alright. Don't forget to read the Nexus files. Yeah, we're going to do that first. I'll use that as kind of a way to delay. Give everyone a chance to join up. That way it's in the episode. And everyone can watch it for backstory if they need to. If they want to learn something about the story. Oh yeah, we also got that 6-star Dreams of a Starry Beach. Arts weapon. Who's that even for? First, let me get my stuff I always did when I first log in. It's become habit now since did I do this one? Usually at night when we're not streaming this and I'm not doing backlog, I'll get on here, do a couple things, and I'll get on Uma, log in, and do that. But Uma's gonna be skipped for the next couple days, just because. Well, it's till Sunday, not the next couple days, till tomorrow, because I'm gonna try to do the episode tomorrow. So we can show off our new character. We're probably just going to cancel my winning ticket one and try to do hers first. And try to do Tamano's first, just because my winning ticket one keeps boning me for some reason. And I've restarted the thing like 4 times. I've gotten rid of each of the versions of her in the trade. I deleted all of them because you don't stay on my team if you can't beat me at a certain level. Tales of the Rock. And we're talking to Ardelia. Professor, would you like to check out some rare rocks I've recently discovered? Of course. I've always found your rock collections fascinating. That's a strange... You would have to be pretty into minerals if to see a response or something like that. I'm not a dwarf. I mean, I look like one height-wise, but I more consider myself a gobbo. But, yeah, I'm not a dwarf, I'm not rock and stone, I'm But they are more than just rocks. I see them as talking tomes and hidden treasures. Here, let me show you this one first. What is this? Suvite. It's formed during an impact event. Inside, you can see melted minerals fused together. So how the crystals sparkle across its surface. When I picked it, when when I picked it up from a crater in the frontier, the whole place shimmered under the sun, as if the earth were blanketed in diamonds. An impact event. So it came from a meteor. That's right. Like footprints left behind by a traveler from beyond the sky. See, okay, I could understand the interest in a meteor, like an intact meteor that slams into like one hit the Earth, but it didn't do that much damage, but it landed somewhere it could be recovered, and check out what it's made of and what kind of minerals we might get from space. Okay, I'd be interested in that, but just rocks in general. I mean, they're important, but I hope to explore the universe. See, that's why I would care about the meteor, because that would put me one step closer to understanding how to get back to space. Anyways, I too look up. Hold on. Okay, whoa. I too look forward to the day we can explore its deepest reaches. Now, Professor, take a look at this one. This is a piece of blighted tillite. It's natural, but also scarred. It was taken from an ancient glacial deposit, but its surface bears clear traces of the blight. As far as I know, it's the oldest evidence of blight damage we found in the rocks. See, that's pretty cool and importance there. See, that's what I said. It's important. It's not my thing. But I will say, I don't think I'd be going and knocking down glacial deposits, girl. Don't be unthawing the glacials. Not a good idea. Original Ardelia is a volcanic researcher. Oh, that makes sense then. So it's a similar geological research. I think that's right. Versus I don't know. I guess geological would still be volcanic included, but volcanic rock and all that. But my brain's like, don't be going and melting the ice caps, okay? Don't be taking chunks out that stuff and just to see what's in it. This thing was infected by the blight clearly ages ago, and you clearly proved that the ice preserved it. Yeah, we know this. This is why we don't do it. Because it could get us all killed. Anyways, it shows Talos 2's wounds. It's proof of Talos 2's earliest wounds left by the blight. Exactly. Every time I look at it, I remind myself that not only must we record the history of the blight, we must also strive to bring an end to it. Agreed there, but you took a heavy risk doing what you did just for that. You know, and also, did that actually, here's the other question. Did you even need to do that to help you increase your tactics against the blight? This would be like, alright, guys, you know that pandemic that happened? Alright, we need to be ready for the next one. Let's go melt the ice caps and see what's worse in there and use that as our template. She studied that type of stuff because originium affects natural disasters involving rocks. Okay, that makes sense. Like I said, it makes sense from a lore perspective. I'm just not a rocks guy, but I think in any sci-fi or real life situation, you need to be, as a biological species, you need to be very careful of melting like ice caps on planets like that. That's a disaster waiting to happen. Screw the Agaloid, the Landbreakers. The blight itself and what could be hiding in there with the blight is way scarier. At least in real life terms as well. But let's see, which specimen do you treasure most? Could you tell me about your treasured specimen? Where did you find it on Talos 2? My most treasured one actually doesn't come from Talos 2. What is it then? Oh, is this gonna be back from, is this piece of obsidian? So that answers me a question in this game's lore about the genetic digital copying, or however they're doing it, of like you said, there's the OG version of Ardelia, which is similar, basically the same, but you see how her favorite piece isn't from here, it's from the one that the original's from. Obsidian's Terra, basically Earth like you know, materials. So my brain goes, It does harken me another theory that, once again, on top of the game that I referenced before, that I kind of see where I think this might be going, but without even having fully done much of the OG, other than what y'all have explained so far, at least. Obsidian. Do you like how it shines? You don't often see something like this on Talos 2. I found it near a volcano in Siesta. So they have their memories then. Ardelia is fine. After all, she has a beast lord with her, the pink sheep. Did you get to Wulong, Tim? Yo, welcome, Tim King. Welcome. So they do have some of their memories then, if that's the case, because she remembers getting it at a volcano in Siesta, because it represents Terra itself. You should keep it safe. I see. It truly carries great meaning. You should keep it safe. Okay. Alright, let me go to the acquisition center, get my normal daily buys I've been doing. I haven't got much time to get on too many people's ships right now. I've been kind of just doing daily grabs, get the 300 credits, and then grab one of these. I'm kind of just going for the arms inspectors and the things we're already kind of crafting to make it a little faster in some areas. Like these. I always buy that one. I need to buy more commons constantly, because the commons are actually, it's funny, and it's something that baffles me about this game, that's in a good way. I have more uncommon level ups in my inventory than bloody normal ones. The normal, like, common ones, which is pretty good because it shows the game has a good way of balancing that. I think I'd rather... So let's get this, more bang for our buck. We can get that one, and we can get this one. And that puts me back to exactly 0. And then protocol pass. Complete side mission. Oh yeah, we got more side missions, yo. Yuppity. Yippity boop doop. Weekly routine done. You see I've been doing something in the background clearly, because you see how the weekly routine's almost done. I'm not probably going to get all of it done just because I haven't been on here. We might get some of it done today. There is perform crafting 20 times, which I actually might have to do that, so we'll see. And those are the last ones before it gives me some new ones again. Oh, is it already started? I didn't realize Yvonne was already going to be added this soon. How many days I got left on you? Oh, no, this is the events. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Oh, okay. So we might try to get Yvonne at some point. Only because of who Yvonne is inspired after. The character's not directly the person that it's inspired after, but they did it as a nod towards the person since they played a lot of Arknights. It turns out. No, not yet. Seely's still making my purple gear before I go further. Siesta is one of the beach nomadic cities that's around a volcano. That's where you meet her originally. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's good. They did that really well. We'll check this towards the end. These are narrative events, and these still have like 39 days on them, so we can kind of do these later. Looks like it'll give me some more boreals and stuff for rolls and stuff. Okay. Alright, so now. Let's go, let's do the main mission first. I think this is the explosive one, right? Well, if not, we'll do it in a minute, but we'll go ahead and start with this one since it's right here.
Director Chen, the construction vehicle has been deployed. We also cleared away the surrounding debris. Our crew is ready to go once we're done with fine-tuning the vehicle.
Good job. Now, we'll wait for the Endmen to... Ah, looks like they've arrived.
Administrator, Supervisor Perlica, thank you so much for saving my life out there. While you launched the attack on the Valley Fort, we found many lost crewmates. We also freed some imprisoned survivors. It's all thanks to Enfield that we managed to escape. At least the defeat of that Rodon forced the other breakers to slow down. We can actually start hoping for the situation to get better.
Yeah, but now we should focus on the work at hand. Endman, we're almost done clearing away the landslide. The next step of our operation may begin. Unfortunately, we cannot get in touch with the UWST site directors of the Power Plateau. We lost every drone we dispatched to that area.
Part
Severe
6, I'm
radio
behind
interference
about
is
3
denying
episodes.
our efforts to call them.
That's fine.
The Bone Crushers clearly possess some radio interference equipment.
Hold on.
But why would they do all this? What are they after?
How important is that place?
The Power Plateau has an Originium power plant. It's the primary source of power in Valley 4, and has been closely monitored by the UWST. The UWST also has an ether test site at the plateau. I don't know what the Landbreakers are looking for,
Oh,
but
there's
losing
an
the place
ether
would deal a
well, I
grievous
know what
blow
they're
to our
looking for.
side.
Oh, well, maybe not them. Yeah, see, my guy realized it. Wait a minute, an ether test site.
That's right. There is a quasi-permanent ether rift in Valley 4. The test site has been monitoring this phenomenon for quite a while. There are plenty of such ether rifts throughout Talos too. Most are undetectable to the unaided eye, and they often bring about blight disasters or affect the vicinity in various ways. Suffice to say, the UWST has deployed sizable defenses to the Power Plateau. They should be able to hold out for a while.
I just hope they can defend the Originium power plant properly. Nefereth has been making her underlings sabotage the power systems.
Don't worry. Everyone in Valley 4 knows how important the power plant is.
It explodes. I kind of half expected that was about to happen, to be fair.
You see, it's a stronghold. If nothing goes
Oh, yep, never mind. I shouldn't have said anything. Boy, I should be quiet sometimes.
Holy! Is that the direction of...
Yeah. That's what I said. Holy
The
crap.
rift has opened. How did this happen?
What? Girl, did you not see what we saw earlier? Hey, what's up, bro?
Admin, Supervisor Perlica, do you copy?
Wolfguard, we've witnessed ether rupture taking place at the Power Plateau. Are you alright?
Firelight confirmed. Cover secured. Large Bell B assembling plateau. Prepare for... I repeat.
Wolfguard? Wolfguard! Signal's out.
They're attacking the Power Plateau.
Administrator! Supervisor Perlica!
It's me. It's right now like 7 below 0
Power
outside.
Plateau! Something terrible has happened there.
Gold.
Light reactions
Oh yeah, no,
everywhere.
you would have been
All
buried
readings
if
are
you
going
were
beyond
where
the
I'm at.
threshold.
I'm looking at like most of the cars are halfway in snow now. This is the most snow I've seen in a long time. Blight reactions. I gotta get some
When
Pepsi.
the ether side comes in contact with real space, it creates a rift
I'll be
and
right
triggers
back,
a
chat.
blight reaction. Nefereth may have energized the previously stable
Be right
ether
back.
rift at the Power Plateau. She has planned this deliberate act of sabotage.
What we're seeing right now is similar to an eruption of a dormant volcano. Except this one spits the blight, and it's way more dangerous than lava.
Director Chin, we need an evacuation plan.
The hub area is safe for now, but with such violent ether activities going on, the spreading blight might soon reach this place. If the blight destroys more of our roads and transport routes, the results would be disastrous.
Hold on. I got a solution. Do you remember the TATA prototype we were working on? The prototype can stabilize ether energy fluctuations. If we can get it close enough to the rupture rift, we might contain its spread. I can even adjust its large area arts unit. This will let the prototype get rid of localized blight. Oh yes! This is totally doable.
Really? That chunky bot can do that?
Director Chief, we've cleared the road to the Originium Science Park. The situation at that place isn't looking too good either.
Time is critical. Have your crew move the prototype there now. Administrator, Supervisor Perlica, we'll meet up with you at Vanikov's site.
Alright. Exploration level 2 increased. Nice. Deep Explorer. Commitment to exploration has finally raised our exploration level. Press options to open up the proto sync. This shows exploration level details. Exploration level 1. Now let me read chat real quick. Oh, welcome Farseer. Farseer said I've been lurking, building more gold gear. Give me some ermine. Oh yeah, give me some golden gear. If I was a conspiracy guy, I would claim a rival nation has deployed weather weapons on the UN. I mean, there's a lot of snow, but it's very convenient timing, man. Hey, at least with the snow going on, I'm out. Know if it hit there or not. I didn't see where it went through, but it's like I would say, like, well, at least if in this situation, the snow gives a permanent debuff to all rioters by slowing them down by 20%. Oh man. At least it would be right now if it was that was the snow they're having. Oh, they probably missed them for all we know. Also, Arknight, I think you should have the Terra or Cosmic Gate file by now in the Nexus files. I haven't been paying attention to what files you've got. I haven't either, to be fair. And I'm the one that has them. Because I haven't read them yet. Alright, let's read about exploration level. Gold is the end game, by the way. Well, at least for now. Until they have more gold. No. I mean, they might. But USA has those women too. Might be on this. I mean, I'd be. So this is what that Halo show, Red vs. Blue, was like. Does that make me Sarge? Oh wait, was Caboose on red or was he on blue? I think he was on blue. The files are accessible in the archive file in the menu. Oh, I know. We haven't got to read. We're gonna read those after this. We'll start off like we did with Front Mission, since it's gonna be a slow start. And we'll read all the backstory files to catch everyone up. If you haven't played OG Arknights, some of this that I'm gonna read is gonna explain the original game and some of its backstory. to help us with the current story. You don't have to know this, but y'all know me, I'm a lore hound. I love good story and really like deep back rooting. So when it's done right. Which this game seems to be pretty well at doing that. Let's see. So, alright. Expiration level effects, operator level caps, availability, and daily refreshes of rare gatherables and rare minerals, and available threat levels of protocol space. Higher exploration levels also raise the levels of enemies in the world, and makes battles more challenging. We should probably promote then. Exploration level increases with main mission progress. After reaching exploration level 3, special exploration level trial missions must be completed first to raise it further. Use the protocol synchronizer protosync menu to lower or restore the exploration level. Oh, you can change it. Lowering the exploration level starts a cooldown before it can be changed again. Do we really want to do that now? I mean, it's already at 2, I guess. I guess it automatically went up. Alright, well, that's fine then. Well, I did already have a plan on... Wow, I keep getting a bunch of friend requests. Alright. Okay. I'm just gonna accept, I guess. Wonder if there's like a mission to add friends, or if this is coming from the stream. Also, if you're friend requesting me from the stream in the background, thank you. I just don't know where they're all coming from. Unless they're just maybe because my name's Arknight, you know. It's one of those things when you have a name that starts with an A, you do tend to be on the top of sometimes on the random friend lists in games. Oh yeah, energy alluvium. Already did that one. Let's just let me know it's there. That's cool. Alright, let's go database first, because the archive's what we want, but let's check our database and what we've already collected. Oh, it's just tutorial, right, I forget. This is where all the information is. I'm just going to go down until those 2 dots disappear. We've read all these as we go throughout the game so far. So... And some of these others I will touch on better in the future when I have more set variety of teams I can build. Right now I can only do certain things. More Landbreakers, Bone Crusher Vanguard. Yeah, we fought that guy in that little sanity portal thing that gives you the grindables. And then the tunneling Nidworm. Weapon files. Oh yeah, the Fort Maker. Ended up with that. Oh yeah, Dreams of Starry Beach. I need to see who this goes on. Intellect. I'm pretty sure that's going to be meant for Perlica, but I'll look. Oh yeah, we earned a new gear that we can build and research, which that's also something we need to maybe worry about now, because we are very behind on gear now. And now that I'm able to probably promote maybe our whole team, which we're going to be deciding today. Today we decide who the team's going to be for now, until I get more people. Because I'm not upgrading certain characters unnecessarily. I'll just put it that way. This is basically this is everything we've collected so far. We got some of those Calconic seeds too. It's weird that those are like plants, but I guess that would make sense with the Originium and the way the blight seems to work. 'Cause they look like rocks too. So, alright, let's get out of that. Now for the important one. To the archive. Let's check our intel gathering, because I have been doing a lot of this. Murder of a Landbreaker. We've got the first investigation. We'll read this and then we'll go to the backstory stuff. This is from that investigation we did last episode where all those Landbreakers got owned by somebody. Thurston's field notes the hub. Body discovered in temporary depot unit 002. Hub area of Valley 4 positioned in a semi-seated posture. clear slash wounds visible on the thighs and wrists, with deeper stab wounds at the waist. The fatal injury is located at the neck. Preliminary assessment indicates death resulting from severe hemorrhage due to a severed carotid artery, caused by a sharp weapon. The victim's protective gear remains largely intact, with all 4 wounds precisely targeting gaps in the armor. Based on the previously gathered intelligence regarding high-risk targets within Bone Crusher clans, the deceased is likely Guillotine Gabby. His moniker stems from the terrifying power of his great axe, said to be capable of cleaving even armored vehicles, which suggests he's... That's also insane. You know the amount of power that means these landbreakers must physically have? Which suggests his killer must possess considerable combat experience. The attacker, armed with a sharp weapon and remarkable agility, first inflicted severe waist injuries, crippling Gabby's ability to wield his axe. That's actually super smart. This game has... I like the way... That's something I appreciate about a developer who does this too. When you take the time, even with your small stuff, to make it make sense even from, like, something small. Like, they could have just made it, like, with the precise attacks, crippling him, making him fall to his knees, like, changing the language because they don't understand truly what the actual attacks where will do what. Going for the waist makes sense because of what it's going to do to the blood supply and oxygen supply. He's not going to have the strength to lift the axe after that. That is extremely detailed. Just gonna say it. Because, you know, when you're a fan of bladed weapons, you might know a couple of things. Let's see. Then targeted the wrist to further neutralize offensive capacities. Then finally striking the legs to eliminate any chance of escape. See, that one's just cruel. But something doesn't seem to quite add up. If the attacker could precisely strike armor gaps, why not deliver the single immediate killing blow? Why expend 3 additional strikes during high-speed combat? Probably wanted to interrogate him. Once again. One theory, the attacker may have revenge-seeking, could have been that. Someone intimately familiar with Gabby's gear and fighting style, rather than a naturally superior combatant. Gabby served numerous See, I think it's this one. Gabby served numerous leaders. Assassination, kidnapping, robbery. He was likely employed by Neferith long before she rose to prominence. The list of those holding grudges against him must be extensive. I think it's that one. Comments updated. Injury report. Trauma inflicted by blunt weaponry observed in vulnerable areas across the entire body. To achieve this in highly intense physical altercation, the murderer must have had in-depth knowledge of their moves and behaviors. Oops, didn't mean to go into that. So that's one of the other investigations. Alright, so check our audio recordings. I think we already listened to this.
Director Chin, the state of our injured personnel is not...
Yeah, we already listened to that. We don't need to listen to that again. Now, let's do findings first. We're not going to read all these because we've already read all these. I read these files as we find them. So these we don't have to worry about. Siesta taker. Yeah. Yeah, hardware store owner. Yeah, these are the ones that we found over. Damage assessment. Records of bone crusher atrocities. We're still... Oh no, we got all 4. We gotta go through all 4 to make sure that's okay. There we go. Next is files. Here we go. I'm not gonna read this one first, but I'm just gonna get that off of there. So let me get back out of this and start over. Okay, so that's not in the way. So okay, let's start at the beginning. This might take a second, depending on how long each of these are. This is on the level of what we had to do with the network in Front Mission 3, to be fair. So, oh boy, yeah, these might take a second. Although I will say I still think the network might be slightly longer because there's just more things to look at. But you see, Tim, I bet Levitain look out, what? Oh, took out that landbreaker. Tam would know she saw her. Tam would know she saw her in what? In a signal quest. Pog is physical damage. That new 6-star weapon is Ardelia's weapon. Oh, is that for Ardelia? Then we'll give it to her then. She is actually about to go on the team, to be fair. But let's see. You don't have the file that has all of the Arknight races. At least I don't think so. I don't know. There was a bunch of them in there. Read them off stream, no. Well, I'm reading them on stream for people who want to know the background. Is why I'm doing that, Crispy. It's for people who want to rather just hear someone say it than have to read themselves. Because this is mostly from the original OG Arknights. Because normally I would do that. That would be my thing other than Front Mission 3, because it's actually required in Front Mission 3 that you follow the network stuff, because it's part of the story. But I've been unlucky as hell with 6-star weapons. I keep getting the wedge. The wedge. Alright, so I'm gonna try to speed run this, but not mess up the words as much as I can. Terra is a distant planet, the home of the present civilization on Telos 2. Yet the relationship between these two worlds are profoundly complex. In the distant past, the ancestors of the Terran civilization originally inhabited Telos 2, later venturing to Terra, where they built a glorious civilization amidst catastrophes. 152 years ago, they crossed through the cosmic gate once more, returning from Terra to Talos 2. While most celebrated this as paving the way, those few who knew the historical truth would whisper another term for it: the homecoming. Several years later, the cosmic gate was destroyed during the First Agaloy War, severing all connection between Telos 2 and Terra. The surviving humanity could only reminisce about their ancestral home through fragmented records. With an average radius approximately 1.55 times that of Talos 2, Terra bears planetary dimensions far exceeding its colonial counterpart. Yet remarkably, the cyclical rhythms of the day and night, along with seasonal variations, demonstrate almost negligible differences between the two worlds. This synchronization is widely believed to be the result of precursor technology, an unknown mechanism that somehow has calibrated both planets' rotations to match one another, some lost celestial template. It is this mysterious harmony that allowed the people of Talos 2 to seamlessly adopt the fundamental calendar system brought from Terra. Terra stands as the primordial birthplace of Orignium, where the prime veins first emerged, and vast crystalline clusters dominate the landscape. Its resource abundance dwarfs, almost said dwarfs anything found on present-day Talos 2. Okay. From the moment humanity first crossed the cosmic gate, scholars have tirelessly attempted to determine the celestial relationship between Terra and Telos 2. Through comparative astrometrics, searching the skies of Telos 2 for any trace of their lost homeworld. Yet to this day, such research has made no conclusive evidence to pinpoint Terra's location among the stars. And there goes that trigger again in the back of my brain, remembering the end of a certain something. Okay. I assume, yeah, okay. Alright, so Orignium. Orignium is an energy-rich crystalline mineral. It was first brought to Telos 2 by the arriving Terrans. So it's not native here, then. Orignium exists in multiple distinct forms, serving as humanity's most vital natural energy source an industrial material. With its exceptional high energy density, it can be directly combusted to release power for immediate use or undergo various refinement processes for specialized applications. When iridium expends its vast eternal energy, it leaves no residue like ordinary combustibles. Instead, it gradually breaks down into fine particle dust, a transformation known as iridium activation. Though this activated state carries the risk of spreading oropathy, such dangers have been effectively contained within Talos 2's controlled environments. The energy released by iridium. Wait, hold on. What? That's why the oropathy probably happens then. But they've contained it more here than they did on Terra. See, now I'm starting to wonder, is it actually an Andromeda situation? Is there a misconception of the timeline because of the distance between the two worlds? They may be synced, but they still wouldn't be technically the same? Okay. Because that could explain why she doesn't know, no one knows about the cure. Because you said there's a cure, right? But if they're not connected anymore, maybe they don't know that. But we'll come back to oropathy's a whole nother thing right now I'm following in the back of my head because it might relate to something else, but we'll come back to that one. The energy released by iridium can be converted through multiple pathways into thermal energy. And every other known form of power that's unique, known as iridium adaptability, has cemented its irreplaceable role with human economic systems, or within human economic systems. One of Terra's 3 first iridium fragments was transported to Telos 2, becoming the progenitor of all iridium on this world. That's how they do that. This proliferation is made possible. That's kind of what our ship is, isn't it? Is made possible by the mineral's natural growth properties. A key mission of the United Workers Syndicate of Talos 2, that's the UWST, involves cultivating iridium clusters across the surface of Talos 2 to ensure the sustainable harvesting of this vital resource. A relatively recent discovery revealed that iridium was artificially created as an information carrier. It possesses the capacity to reshape its surrounding environment and even influence the course of biological evolution. The true intentions of iridium's creators towards Terran civilization, holy crud, no way. Okay. Yeah, we're reading all of these 100% now. Hello. Oh, hold on 1 second, chat. Hey, hold on 1 second, chat. I might have to cut this episode a little short today. I have to make an important phone call here in a minute, here in a little bit, because I don't want to wait too late. It's already almost 4. Shit. Yeah. So let me, let's do the backstory at least, where I know we'll have enough time. As long as I do it at least by 5. We'll have enough time to at least get our backstory, and this might be just a backlog episode. That kind of like what Front Mission ended up being. And then we'll do another. We'll do an bleh. After once this ends, and I make my important phone call, I will. Then we'll do Front Mission 3 after that. We'll continue where we left off on there, but let's continue with reading the backstory. I'm gonna kind of speed run this if I can. So okay, Originium adaptability. I left off right here. A relatively recent discovery. We already read this, so this one we're done with. So now we're on Originium arts. That's the thing that Ardelia uses in Perlica. Originium arts represents humanity's methodology for channeling the energy within Originium through specific techniques, directing it into defined forms to achieve particular purposes. During the dawn of Terran civilization, humans discovered their profound connection with Originium. They learned that in Originium-rich environments, they could manifest various natural phenomena through sheer will. Flames springing from palms, frost forming from breath, lightning answering their gaze. Oh, right, because it's the elements. These primal techniques become the first Originium arts. As civilization advanced, people developed specialized methods to process Originium for enhanced Originium arts. These devices created through these techniques became known as the arts units. Those who primarily rely on such instruments to practice Originium arts earn the designations of casters, which would be once again Ardeli and Perlica and Antal, the dragon guy, our fire dragon. Later discoveries revealed that every individual possesses an innate affinity for specific types of Originium arts, and their mastery levels a phenomenon termed Originium art uniqueness. Okay, what would I have called it? That's such a long word. You would want something like that to be kind of short and sweet, to be a little bit more referenceable. Art synchronization? Synchronization might be too hard of a word. I'd have to think about that. It definitely wouldn't be 3 words. You definitely would want it to be 2, because it's already complicated enough. This was if real life, but scientists do this in real life too. Let's make it 14 different words. So no one understands it. Because we don't understand it. And see, yeah, I'm gonna work on batteries after I get my purple gear sorted out. Gotta build a battery factory to feed my thermal generators. I guess that makes sense. You would have to have something producing batteries quite regularly in hardcore. The research materials are yellow tube men on the map. Oh yeah, right. Oh yeah. If you're looking for research, yeah. That's on, we call it? That's the wacky waving inflatable yellow tube men that you see around the map. Earned the designated. Oh yeah, we already read that. Okay. The inherent nature demonstrates that human capacity for channeling these arts varies, fundamentally from birth to bridge. These natural disparities and wait, disparsities? To bridge these natural okay, yeah. To bridge these natural disparsities, my brain was like, what word is that? Did I read the wrong word out loud? I did. I said disparities. Which you could say that too, but I think it's disparsities. Like sparseness. Missing pieces of a bridge, which is why I think it said the word bridge. That's good English. That's a good way to help the brain realize what it's talking about. To bridge these natural disparsities and harness the benefits of Originium arts more efficiently. Humanity developed technologies to encapsulate these arts within crystalline units, releasing them through mechanical systems. These innovations, known as encapsulated casting units, transformed Originium arts into standardized technology and paved the way for their explosive growth of Originium industry. On Talos 2, humanity continues to reap the conveniences born from this revolutionary development. Nice. There's a lot of these. The Cosmic Gate. Hold on, let me go check in on my Pepsi real quick. I'm very thirsty. I've been discovered that how did you think that I had space for my Gigafactory? Yo, Farseer, how did I not know you can move the pack from the center? Or just discovered that LOL. Wait, you can move it? I didn't know that. I'll be right back. Wait. Oh, man. Pepsi. Don't forget Pepsi. Well, wait, are you talking about moving the ports or moving the entire system? Like, somewhere else in the block? Or are you talking about moving the outputs? I know you told me about you can move the outputs, but I didn't know you can move the entire pack. Moving the big square. Oh. Hmm. Okay. So that means I might move it. You can't see my face for the moment. Hold on 1 second. One sec, chat. Did all that gosh darn organization or nothing? Yep. You could have literally could have what do you call it? Just moved it probably. I would have loved to seen what Sealy had to move his machine for, and then you come to find out that if he had just moved the pack, it would have solved all his issues. Like I would love to like somehow know this. Sealy would be like, no. Cosmic gates represent a classification of precursor transportation infrastructure, whose operational principles remain only partially understood by contemporary science. On Terra, these structures were positioned at both the northern and southern extremities of the planet's major continents. Talos 2, by contrast, possesses only one confirmed cosmic gate, located at its northern polar region. It's in the North Pole. Why has everything come from the ice terrible? The Thing? Portals to a terrible place? Biological erasing diseases? When discovered by humanity, both cosmic gates on Terra were found in states of severe damage. Through immense effort, researchers managed to restore the less damaged northern structure, commonly called the Sami Cosmic Gate. Exploration revealed it led to what was initially termed subspace. Though this has since been determined not to be a true ether side, after countless attempts and sacrifices, following the reactivation of the precursor celestial calculation and measurement device known as the celestial fulcrum within Terra's home star, humanity finally identified the cosmic gate's paired counterpart. This breakthrough allowed the first steps onto the soil of Talos II. During the colonization of Talos II, that's the planet we're on right now, by the way, humanity exercised deliberate caution by refraining from any modifications to the planet's cosmic gate. This prudent approach meant no additional cosmic gates were discovered in the process. However, scientists across the civilization band widely maintained the other cosmic gates must exist within Talos II's star system. This vital passageway between Terra and Talos II remained operational for 5 years, until the outbreak of the First Agaloy War, when humanity lost access to Talos II Cosmic Gate. Today, the Talos II Cosmic Gate lies shrouded beneath the aurora of Talos II, beyond the reach of human activity. Its current condition, along with the status of Terra on the other side, has become inaccessible to human knowledge. The First Agaloy War. Stargate, someone called General Ham. That's exactly, I thought about that. It's like, bloody Stargates, man. We literally found Stargates. Is he? I haven't got any text. Hold on, chat. Okay. Like I said, I don't think I might get through all this today. Chat, I have an important thing I gotta do in a little bit. We're gonna try to read all this if we can, though. That way, at least we have some sort of codex episode that people can relate to if you just want to know the backstory of what makes Arknights. So, but let's continue. The First Agaloy War. The First Agaloy War refers to a decade-long conflict spanning from the Telosian calendar, year 5 to 15, fought between humanity and hostile forces primarily composed of Agaloy. Historical records predating Telosian calendar, year 142, document this conflict simply as the Agaloy War, referencing the same engagement. Referencing the same engagement, the war divides into 2 distinct phases, separated by the pivotal events of the Telosian calendar, year 11. The war's initial phase was marked by catastrophic disasters caused by Agaloy and widespread chaos among human forces. Within the first 24 hours of the conflict, suddenly emerging anchor points allowed massive Agaloy swarms to overwhelm and obliterate humanity's earlier cities. Around the northern Cosmic Gate, Talos II's inaugural city, they seized complete control of the polar region, potentially triggering the phenomenon known as the Aurora of Talos II. Through means that remain unknown, the subsequent 6 years saw surviving human populations driven southward under relentless Agaloid pressure, progressively losing technology capabilities throughout their forced migration. By the Telosian calendar, year 11, the current administrator had assisted the remaining human factions in reorganizing their forces. enabling effective resistance against the Agaloy incursions. This marked the transition to the war's later phase, following a major military campaign in Talos Year 15. I wonder if that's what the beginning of the game is. Yeah, because it says the original current administrator had assisted in the first incursions, which led to what happened, something that happened in the later phases. Following a major military campaign in Talos Year 15, Agaloy activities in southern regions were finally contained. Significant events during this period include Sammy the Faramut joining the Agaloy War, the Wild Hunt Uprising. What in the world? Orion, get out of here! Initiated by Sammy's followers. The founding of the Order of the Steel Oath. For humanity, major Agaloy disasters and combat operations concluded by the end of Telosian calendar year 15. Consequently, some regard this year as the war's official end. Others maintain that the conflict truly reached its conclusion only when the establishment of the civilization band in Telosian calendar year 17. Civilization. Anyway, Sammy was named after the Faramut by the same name, Sammy the Faramut. I used its body to fend off the collapsials of the north. The fact is cross the gate cross the gate weirds me out. Why would it leave? And see, the civilization band designates the collective human societies operating under framework of the band accord, hereinafter referred to as the Accord. Adhering to its established statutes and regulations, the civilization band comprises various sized factions, coalitions, and organizations bound by the Accord's restrictions. It does not accept self-declared nation states as members. Using the Accord as its foundational framework, it promotes technical specialization and autonomy among members, sustains humanity's basic survival on Talos 2, and strives for human self-actualization on this world. Individuals possessing civilization band recognized status, who reside within territories administered by the constituent factions. Man, they went full. This is like am I reading a bill in the Congress right now? It's going straight for all the heavy words. Its constituent factions and organizations are designated band residents. This group's constituates over 90% of Talos 2's total population. The three largest factions within the civilization band are the United Workers Syndicate of Talos 2, which is UWST, the Talos 2 General Chamber of Commerce, TGCC, and the affiliated Hongshan Academy of Science of the Tianxi Bureau of Great Yan, known as the Haas. The Haas. Under the Accord's framework, these three entities collectively hold the designation of unshakable members of the Band Accord, abbreviated as U3. There are three of them, aren't there? Well, that's weird. That's a bit on the nose. I guess it makes sense. Unshakable 3 probably is what that stands for. Because unshakable members of the Band Accord, and then it does in a capital U and then a 3. That's what I'm assuming. They are widely recognized as the Major 3 or the Big 3. Enfield Industries also stands as a significant member of the Civilization Band, For convenience and to maintain neutrality, Daizhong houses dedicated conference facilities where band members conduct general discussions regarding accord amendments and other collective matters. Is literally the UN. So we're the UN. Okay. At least in political terms. Ether side. The ether side is an overarching term for describing areas where depth reading is at 1 in subterranean, surface, atmospheric, and orbital regions of Talos 2. Given the timescale of Talos 2, the ether side is currently overlapping with real space. Flow of matter and energy between the two dimensions has been verified as a feasible possibility. In Talos 2, the barrier between real space and ether side may sometimes rupture to create an interspatial conduit, which is what I think, by the way, just happened above the power plant. So I don't know what that is. To create an interspatial conduit, and in rare occasions disrupt the very time scale. Oh, that's not good. Pepsi? Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, those cars are. It's almost. Yeah, it's nothing. The only thing I'm seeing on the road are the dump trucks going by, trying to push it off. No, well, for us here, but I'm looking out there. Like, but sometimes. Yeah, 'cause I saw one go by just now. But yeah, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Sammy and the other Pheromones, like Sui, are living gods, and to my knowledge, are based on Terra. So what Sammy did is like a Greek god living and leaving another continent, which shows you that they're not really based on Terra. I bet. I have a hunch about what you're referencing, at least from my perspective coming into this. From the outside, also having the knowledge of another game that this continues to keep referencing, and at this point I'm like, do I just look at it as it's just the stars have aligned, or is it really truly something to this now? Because originally I was still, even though it is very much alike, I was more joking, but now I'm like, the more I read, the more I read the backstory of this, I'm like, the more I'm starting to think I might not be a bloody joke. But I mean, where'd I leave off? Oh, there we go. In Talos 2, the barrier between the real space and ether side may sometimes rupture, and already read that. Creating interspatial rarecation, disrupting the very time scale itself. Colloquially, I can never say this word. I know what it is. Colloquially. See, now you're seeing my weakness. So, for some reasons, it cues for me when I'm trying to talk. Everyone has some sort of letter they have a problem with. In most cases, people don't notice it. Colloquially. Anyways, colloquial. I can say that one, which means it's kind of like when it's a term for also language too. Like you'll have dialect that gets a colloquial type of thing that happens. Like Florida men talk different than Georgia dudes most of the time because they grew up in different atmosphere. That's what colloquial means. It means basically atmosphere and kind of influence around it. Referred to as the rift. Depth readings near the near rifts typically approach 0.5, which also means that active blight has a higher probability of occurring at these places. Cultivating originium or deploying activated originium can effectively reduce depth readings in surrounding areas, thereby helping contain breaches in ether sides and to some extent. However, this effect lacks consistent patterns. At times, originium activity may instead be suppressed by the rifts in regions with active ether side phenomenon, I guess phenomenon facility makes sense. And machinery, relying on originium arts often experience significant operational interference. The consequences of matter transitioning from reality into the ether side are random and unpredictable. What remains certain is that all biological processes essential to sustaining life experience severe disruption and obstruction. So it literally, okay, in scientific terms, this sounds like kind of what we were talking about in that theory one night, where what would happen if motion just stopped? Like if particles just stopped moving. Which I wonder if that's what's really happening. And that's why it's sustaining life experiences disruption and obstruction within these domains. Conversely, when the matter emerges from the ether side back into real space, it generates active blight in real space. Consequently, matter exchange experiments between real space and ether space face strict restrictions. Can't speak to them, tongue-tied. Under the band accord, with the vast majority of related live subject testing explicitly prohibited. Unlike physical matter, energy flows unidirectly. Unidirectly. Sorry, I got my letters transposed. Unidirectionally. So wait on, let me restart the sentence. Unlike physical matter, energy flows unidirectionally. Oh wow. From ether side into real space through potential energy conversion. The phenomenon occurs even in the absence of a rift, making related studies of primary focus in the field of ether side utilization. However, when this energy flow exceeds certain thresholds, it frequently triggers random and uncontrollable explosions, which might cause rifts like we saw. Humanity's comprehension of ether sides remains profoundly limited, particularly since distinguishing them from known subspace. The prevailing hypothesis suggests ether sides constitute a separate universe, one quietly undergo. Oh, that might make sense. See, this game's really good at using things that could actually probably be plausible in these situations. While saturated with lethal toxins. Subspace in this framework would serve as the membrane separating ether sides from real space. Yet such theories currently lack substantiation through mathematical models or experimental observation. Unless... Hold on, I still don't have my Pepsi. Hold on, chat. Okay. The Zaroff directive. Okay, this one's not quite as long. This is more of the direct. Oh, it's like an actual program starting up. John Spartan, you've been fined. I'm sorry, when I saw that paper coming at me, I'm like, boop, 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 boop. It just starts bleeping everything. Confirm progress. Confirming progress. Progress 1. Progress condition met. Confirming authority level. Authority level 8. Authority conditions met. Oh, oh, we need authority level 8, do we? Is that a hint? Or no, I'm thinking about exploration. But let's see, confirming authority level 8, with the authority conditions, awaken. Oh, no, this is when we got woke back up, basically, I bet. Or something similar to the process, it seems. Confirming progress 2, conditions met. Confirming authority level 8, conditions met. Awaken accepted. Hub base. The hub base serves as a crucial facility for the Enfield Industries, dedicated to automated industry complex research. Excuse me. An automated industry equipment manufacturer. Approximately 2 decades ago, the UWST eliminated the giant agaloid. Oh, wait, is that the beginning of the game? Eliminated the giant agalos as Taran that assaulted Valley 4, though it at grievous cost. The conflict left regional development paralyzed, creating an urgent need for economic revitalization. This timing coincided with the Enfield industry seeking a location with strategic accessibility and open terrain suitable for automated industry complex development. That's interesting, isn't it? It coincided perfectly? There's no such thing as coincidences, chat. Automated industry complex. Well, that's where I was. The mutual needs led to a natural partnership, resulting in renewable 10-year lease agreement. That's a long rent agreement. Construction of a hub base commenced shortly thereafter. The hub base carries the critical mission of advancing automated industry complex development. Since its establishment, it has efficiently completed research and implementation of numerous projects, including industrial equipment, miniaturization, flexible device deployment, and protocol control systems. While Enfield Industries maintains similar facilities across Telos 2, any quantified assessment of the company's technological progress over the past 2 decades would undoubtedly rank the hub base as its foremost contributor. Okay. That's just what we've... Den stacks, these are those things. We might have read this one, but I'll read it. Collapsials probably reside in the ether side. After all, they both exhibit a type of corruption to physical matter. Well, here's the thing I'm thinking. Remember what it said about how the ether side works on both going a certain direction. Us going into it takes life away. So you're about to see where my brain's going, and once again, this is way too coincidental with what the game I loved originally, the series I loved a lot when I was a kid, had this same concept. Once again, it's almost indubitably the same concept so far, and not just the core elements, a lot of the details too. So essentially what my theory already is, if we're going into the ether side and it's killing us, and it can halt life, what happens when it comes out? Well, then that would mean the opposite, right? Think about the way I'm going to have to use Stranger Things, the show, as an example for this, for anyone who doesn't understand the sciences of what that probably is representing. Essentially, in layman's terms, even though it's not literally this, the ether side's basically the realm of death, and our world and universe is the realm of life. So if this is true, then this means when the matter that exists in inertness, right? Because if it's dead, it's not moving, right? So if it exists in some sort of slow death, like inert kind of universe, one could argue what the collapsials might be and also what maybe even the agalloy might be. Because I think they're going to be related. I think we're going to find out they're not that different. And it's like, so I have a feeling what's going to happen, we're going to find out, is that the stuff seeping to our side is being given life. But because it doesn't quite understand this because of where it comes from, it's maybe that's what the corruption is. It's think about two codes in a computer clashing with each other. But they are able to coexist, but just barely. Imagine the code that's coming from the outside into a different code. That code has to rewrite itself to exist in this new place. So one could argue that might be why the agalloy can exist physically, why they're formed from rocks and natural like minerals and things like that. And the collapsials, I don't know as much about them. So, competing AIs, I mean, that's what it feels like. But plus there's something else I want to point out. It's already mentioned. Remember, it says we don't know where Terra is in the star systems, but yet they've lived there. Even our species today can tell where we are in the Milky Way galaxy with our primitive selves, like caveman selves in comparison to this. So you know what this tells me something? If they're that advanced and they do not know literally in space where, like physical space, where Terra actually is in the universe, this kind of tells me, then is Terra really physical? Is any of this, is it going to really play out like I think and it's going to end up like I think it is? Because once again, if you knew the ending of what the concept of what the crew, I forget the name of the ship, the crew of the main characters from Xenosaga at the end of Xenosaga 3 had to do, or were going to have to do, you might see why I'm a bit thrown back by this. Because this is more and more just soaking into, we're like, what? Arknight, that is explained in as the Arknight Terror couldn't tell because the star pod, a metaphysical barrier, was blocking the entire sky in order to keep Terra hidden from the observers. There is a barrier around Terra, okay. But even then, though, I mean, I don't know. But see, I don't know. I have an argument about that, too, because y'all got to realize you're only looking at what you already know, not what Enfield's adding to the pie. I think Enfield's going to burst a couple of those bubbles. Like, I think that is important to note that. But there is also something to say a precedence that the observers basically blew everything up from the original human perspective before the other species were born. So I think y'all, I don't think y'all see the bigger picture yet. I do think that we're going to find out that part of this may not be as, and like you said, what did you call that barrier, Seeley? A metaphysical barrier? See, what you don't realize is that plays right into my theory. That doesn't prove anything different. And say the Witch King. Let's see. The Witch King, the king of the Lithuanian, I don't know how to say that, based on Germany. Basically Lithuanian? I forgot how to say it. Traversed a realm like this, ether side, suspected to be the same place, just called by a different name by him. He used his arts to control the chaos of that realm to construct a spire that uses it to give order in a small zone. See, this is further playing into what I'm thinking. Everything so far keeps pointing back to one solution. Because what happens, like, Think about it, because we're ignoring the initial original setup of the story's facts for the OG Arknights. Is that the original human species came in contact with probably the observers, the Tier 6 society, and basically wiped the slate clean. So, in between that and now is what I think is represented by the thing I'm relating it to. The Witch King is known to be the strongest caster of Terra in known history. Nice. That's pretty cool. That means he eventually learned how to manipulate it. Which one could argue... I'm also going to I also have another theory that I'm going to put out there eventually, but I'm going to wait till we get deeper. That has to do with the fact that Ardelia is all these digital reincarnations and recreations of the same people. I also have another theory, too, that might be a little scary prospect. But it would also explain why they are able to survive in such a terrible reality. Because remember what I said about one thing that this... And it might be starting to prove me wrong because it has a reason for this now. Remember what I said, the only thing that that bugs me a little bit about Arknights is that how does this society survive against any of this? Like, how are they even holding this back overall? Even from the beginning, like, one could argue before they even had Originium really mastered, what was to stop anything from then from just like it did before? So, like I said, I have a distinct theory developing, but I'm going to leave it on the table until we get further into Enfield. But the Aurora of Talos 2, and let's see, in the file talking about it, states it exhibits the same properties as the Star Pod. Okay, yeah. I need that done anyways. So I wonder if it's trying to form one. Wait a minute, so now you just get, as far as like the things you were talking about, Sammy. Hold on a second. So, I wonder if Sammy is them. Hold on. Whoa, there's no way. You see, you're blowing my minds. We might want to, let's hold off for a second. Let's continue reading, because it'll take us a while to get through this. And I still gotta make my important phone call. So we've got about like 30 minutes to maybe 40 minutes to try to get through this. We're definitely gonna have, I know my Uma fans are gonna keep getting mad at me, and I deeply apologize. Schedule's just been absolutely up in the air. But Uma's gonna have to wait till, we'll put it on Monday. Because I bet you this snow isn't going away by Monday. So, not how much there is. And it still hasn't stopped. I'm pretty sure my trash can is gonna vanish at some point out there. We can see out the window. But back to what I was saying before we move on. I'll say this last thing, but then we need to keep reading for now. Because this is kind of blowing my mind on things that now I'm tired. You've triggered it. You've triggered it fully, chat. I hope you better be ready for this at this point, because you have unlocked the Leon brain. And so it's like it's now time to get to the bottom of this. We must find out how deep Umbrella's rooted in this situation. Next thing, Leon's gonna come out of nowhere. New operator added. I say metaphysical, but Kristen used brute force to break through the star pod and reveal the true sky. But that is still metaphysical. But here's the thing. That still makes it metaphysical. Because let's say you believe it's physical. Sealy, remember your metaphysical logic. If you believe that the metaphysical is physical, and that you can break the metaphysical physical, it becomes physical. And then it is now shatterable. See, this is where my brain does. When you get it to this level, it'll unwind any mystery in like 10 seconds. If it can find a way to do it. If it understands it enough. And see, the same brain GW killed for Warhammer. I know. Makes me sad, man. Warhammer was doing that. They would do. I like some of the new stuff they're doing, but I'm like, it's still so much that their lore building could be better. Like, way better when it comes to Warhammer. But it is what it is. We've got Arknights. It'll be alright. The star pod prevents any and all high altitude machines. That's why Terra didn't have planes. Oh, okay. So it was keeping them. Yeah, we gotta keep reading because the more you keep telling me about this, silly, the more my brain goes. If that is any at all even 10% accurate of what I'm onto, I'm gonna make this joke. Even if it's not totally accurate and it's even just spiritually accurate, it's not truly connected, but it's basically the same story. Because let's say it's just stars aligned and you know how great minds think alike, how they always say. Maybe this is just lightning striking twice in history for the first time in a video game. That maybe this is spiritually, maybe not officially, the rebirth of Xenosaga. And like I said, because of what Xenosaga covers. Now, I would say if you did play Xenosaga, if you ever go back and see it, I would argue if it was related at all, physically, like literally, or inspired, or maybe some developers came from that company, because that company doesn't exist anymore. They went out of business a long time ago. One could argue that maybe it's because of that, and that like I said, spiritually, it's almost carried on the roots. But I'm gonna make this joke now. Man, Chaos, you devilish, tricky bastard. If that's what you did, you tricky bastard. Is he? Yes, because the precursor, aka the old humans, did not want anyone to leave. Frick! Hi. If I had a cosplay costume to dress up as, I forget his actual code name. Once again, I keep calling him. It's funny because his name is the same name as one of my best friends, or as my brother basically, Kevin. Like one of the main. He's not a villain. He's actually a anti-hero. You actually find out he's actually fighting what you're somewhat helping in the beginning and don't realize it, and then because he's the one that created Cosmos and Telos. And so, let's see. Ashir were the only ones who could see the galaxy from the hole that was created. Calcit. He sounds like a Star Wars name. Cal. Hey, it's Cal. Cal was also doing her job to prevent any nation on Terra from making rockets. By the way, making rockets. By the way, they first knew about the star pod because when they tried sending a rocket, it hit something. You know how freaky that would be if we did that in real life? Could you imagine if that had happened on Earth when we first did that? Do you know what that would do to us? We would have been accelerated at like light speed at what our thinking would have been like, because we would have been our reality would have been crashed down upon our heads if something like that had happened. And that is actually a pretty scary prospect if you think about it, because for those who don't know about it, that's gonna be like, well, what kind of red alert, red flag was that? What you mean it hit something trying to leave the atmosphere? There's nothing there. Because then you'd have to argue who put it there. And then once you ask that question, who put it there, if you can't answer that, your next question is it to keep me safe, or are we prisoners? Like on a galactic scale, that would be some scary action. And see, the star pod is a veil meant to hide the life on Terra. Yeah, as the observers only target anything with life. Which, now hearing what they're doing, and what the final boss of Xenosaga 3's actual purpose is, And what I just said about the ether side / other realm, part of me thinks that the observers are things from that universe, but once again, they come from a universe that just exists differently. So one could argue, I'm going to go a little, this is a stretch a bit even for Xenosaga. One could argue it might be like almost a life cycle thing, which is why I think the religious part of the undertones that are hidden in both Xenosaga and this game, especially Christian, like Christian religious undertones, and belief that's happening in this game. I guess you could say Catholic as well a little bit too, but so far mostly Christian from what I can tell. But all three forms of it too, not just traditional or not traditional, not just Orthodox, Protestant, and I forgot the other one, but it's all three of them. But seems to be predominantly Christian background, or as far as like the feel of what they're doing with it. Even if it's got a science-heavy setup, what's pushing it is the same thing they did with Xenosaga, which is why I love that series. It's a heavy scientific sci-fi universe, but it's tempered with this larger-than-life entities that we'll never understand, basically like basically on something like levels of gods and stuff, that exist in the other side in places we don't understand and things like that. So, okay, to get things back on track, I need to hurt Arknights' brain right now. Alright, well, that's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and read while you type some more stuff. We do need to keep reading because it's gonna take us a while to get going if we don't. I think we've read this one, but we'll read it again for everyone else. Because I think I read this one when I first got it. Den stacks serve as the signature battlefield installation of the Bone Crusher clan. During the era when the Landbreakers remained united, the warlord Jacob ruled over them. This former hero who had turned his back on the civilization ban brought forth a witchcraft device known as the Den stack from Sesqua. I'm gonna say it like that because that looks almost Native American. So that's why I'm saying it like that, but it could be another language I don't know. So I'm just going to say Sesqua. The Den stack absorbs blight and disperses them into mist form. Then, when the Den stacks are erected and their haze begins to spread, all Originium-based devices within range experience significant disruption. This includes, but is not limited to drones. Communication systems, and transport vehicles. Following the Landbreakers' fragmentation, the most violent remnant faction, the Bone Crusher clan, inherited these devices. They deploy them as a strategic installation to conceal raids and plundering operations. The appearance of multiple Den stacks often signals the clan's preparation for large-scale assaults on surrounding areas. Following Nephirus modifications, the contemporary Den stacks now enhance the combat capabilities of Bone Crushers operating within its influence zone. However, when ordinary individuals inhale its haze, they experience significant physical discomfort, beginning from the respiratory tract, with some developing auditory and visual hallucinations. Okay, Aubrey the hero. Nah, I ain't gonna hit you with that lore. what lore? You just don't want me to. You don't want me to keep tying ropes together. It's gonna keep happening. It's gonna happen eventually. There's gonna be a knot eventually. We're gonna create a whole sea fisherman's level line of rope. Elder gods were made from nothing similar to chaos. Wait, from nothing similar to chaos. Were made from nothing similar to chaos. Eldar are their own gods, not the other way around. The same for the High Elves, from literally nothing but the war. Wait, That's their backstory now? Wait, is that new? You're right, that does break my brain a little bit. That makes it hurt. Oh, but Warp... Well, wait. But Warp created, but the Warp created them. Okay, but yet they're not related to the Chaos. But the Warp created them. But they're not related to the Chaos. But the Warp created them. You see how that argument becomes infinite? That's how you know when you've written a dumb backstory. If your backstory is arguing with another core element of your story, that's a shit backstory. Oh, Warhammer, no, man. Let's go back to this. We're going back to this Arknights. Warhammer hurts my brain when it comes to their terrible writing. They have writings. They're starting to have writing skills like Kathleen level writing skills, and that scares me because I don't want Warhammer to get hit by that. I mean, it'll probably fall back from it quite quickly if it did, but it is starting to feel a little weird. Just saying, certain things. Yeah, I heard they changed that. That I know. That I heard about. That was the first freaking dumb thing that they changed. But once again, this shows you it's either of two things. They've either hired the single dumbest writing team in existence, or because, like in most cases, and this is the problem I think with Warhammer, this is why I think at some point I think the company known as Warhammer is going to have to do this differently if they want to keep this going forever, especially if they want to maintain longevity at some point. Tabletop wise especially. Gaming will probably last a while. To be fair, now that they've done pretty good in the gaming industry, I do think the gaming side of Warhammer will do good for a decent minute. But I do think their tabletop will start to die pretty rapidly if they don't start kind of like locking it in, because people are just not happy. It's like some of the Titus stuff and all that's fun and people are enjoying that. But people are also saying, yeah, we like Titus and we're enjoying the Ultramarine stuff, but we've dealt with the Ultramarine freaking Gilliman, man, for like who knows how long now. I'll even say it as this. I'm going to be fair on this. Even in the Dark Imperium, when are we not going to focus on the Lion? I like the Lion. I'm one of his biggest fans. But I also think it's not healthy for the story to do this. This is why it's drying up. Because they're failing, they're ruining the rest of these factions. Because they're having all their good writers focusing only on the Ultra Smurfs. And then I think at some point, that's going to hurt the franchise so much, no one's going to pay the outrageous prices these models go for anyways. I mean, they're already starting to see a dip in that market because, 3D printing. So, it's something that's like, it's like, and it's the same old, and then we're going to get back on Arknights here, because I don't want to get distracted on another conversation, but I'll say this. It's the same old. It's a company who got too damn comfortable. They don't have to work hard. Or they won't. They don't right now. They will soon if this keeps up like this. Because tons of people are starting to just be like, And since people already will just probably, if they can, 3D print their own models and just play with those and just buy maybe some paints and stuff. Does Warhammer really think they can keep making profit off of this forever without a engaging thing to pull people in? Because that's going to make people cheat the system more. The more people enjoy something less, the less they're willing to spend more money. That's how you make more money. The more someone enjoys a product, the more when the product's actually good, the more a person's willing to pay a higher price. But the product actually has to meet that price. And I don't think it is anymore. So, by the way, the Celestial Fulcrum was the device platform used to match the orbits of the planets. It's currently hidden behind the shadow of the twin moons on Terra. That is pretty cool that they did that, but it also shows you how much powerful tech was already in place. The precursor human species is what interests me the most right now. because I think they're the key to this, and whether this ends up being just spiritual succession or almost direct succession. But let's keep reading. Enough about the Warhammer stuff. That stuff drives me mad every time I hear it. But it you know, it is what it is. And in a matter of time, and like I said, at some point it'll switch back. It's just they have to lose some money first. Seems to be the only way to get them to kind of turn the other way in most cases. Let's see, the Doctor, Oracle, said the Celestial Fulcrum is also a weapon meant to be used against the over... Wait, what's the Fulcrum look like? Is it a planet? What's it look like, Sealy? That made me... Man, I had a little bit of weirdness happen on my body. You know when you get that, when you like have those shivers go down your spine? What does it look like? Do you know? Did they show that? I don't know, it wasn't delved into. Interesting. Does it have any physical form at all, do we know, or no? Its only name and function is mentioned. Okay, so no. So we don't. Okay. Let's continue. And see, Aubrey the hero. Aubrey was an educator. Can't talk. Aubrey was an educator who heroically sacrificed herself protecting students during the Agaloy assault on Valley 4 in the Telosian calendar year 75. The Telosian calendar year 75, numerous anchor points descended upon the outskirts of Valley 4, stretching defense forces thin. A small Agaloid contingent breached the perimeter near a school facility. Aubrey successfully evacuated her students, but the entities pursued relentlessly. As the retreat reached the under construction pass near what is now the quarry entrance, Aubrey scaled the heights to gain a tactical advantage, utilizing explosives from the construction site. She triggered a calculated rock slide that halted the Agaloy advance. Her actions safeguarded both the quarry and her students, though she perished in the detonation that secured their escape. That's sad. At least as far as we know, right? Aubrey's not going to turn out to be that lady controlling the ether, right? Why did I just get weird foreshadowings in my brain just then? Let's see. It's supposed to be a huge thing, though, because it's hidden behind the shadow of the twin moons. I mean, moons are big, but they're not as big as some planets, because they have to orbit them. But, I mean, if it's the size of a ship, per se, in question mark, that could be true. I do like this universe. I am now officially a Arknights fan. Even if I don't play the OG as much as this, I'm definitely an Arknights fan now. I like the way they're doing this. Alright, in her honor, the UWST designated the nearly completed quarry as Aubrey's Quarry. Quarry. See, I can't do Q's. Q's just... Operations were later suspended when excavations uncovered a mysterious substance. The metallic structure far exceeding humanity's current technological understanding was subsequently called, I don't know what I said there, subsequently named the Stone of Aubrey. Is that at the bottom of the quarry? Are we going to get to see that? Talos 2 itself. Talos 2 is a natural satellite of a because it's a moon, of a gas giant named Talos. Oh, the gas giant is called Talos. That's why it's Talos 2. Makes sense. But that is still cool, though. It says, the frontier. Oh, I almost thought it said the frontier's mates from Terra reopened the cosmic gate and first stepped foot upon the moon 150. So it's been 152 years. 152 years ago, Telos 2 has a nitrogen-rich atmosphere, even oxygen for life, and sufficient greenhouse gases to keep it warm. However, the alien sun and the massive gas giant that looms in the skies are constant reminders for the pioneers and the countless light years that exist between their current location and their distant home. Well, that says homes. Fortunately, the great mountain ranges, probably homes like homes on Terra, but fortunately, the great mountain ranges, crisscrossing river systems, and rich vegetation cover nurtured Okay, there's a missing word. Nurtured or a comma. There should be a comma there. A rather resilient biosphere. Oh, they should end it with a period over here. Okay. Yeah, okay, that was it. Even I know English writing than that better than that. But after the cosmic gate collapsed, the Terrans survived on Talos 2 for well over a century. Natural resources have been essential to supporting the livelihood of local populations. For generations, the stranded Terrans and their descendants built and expanded various outposts and towns across the world and created new footholds for civilizations. According to the astronomical observations, there are an undisclosed number of natural satellites besides Telos 2 orbiting around the gas giant, but only the latter is habitable. Okay, I'm gonna say something right now. Someone should have questioned that the first moment they got there, okay? That should have been your first question when you first figured this out. When you figured out there were other moons around this gas giant as dead as a doorknob, yet this one's full of life, that should make you question some things. I'm just saying. It should make you go, we didn't do this. Why is this thing habitable? Why are all the others not? You see, if Agir have gravity manipulating weapons, I assume the Celestial Fulcrum is a gravitational machine. Well, there was gravity weapons in Xenosaga. These stars are getting a little too close to each other. It's like we're about to have a supernova. I'm like, what's happening? If you knew what Enman did to one of them, to what to one of the moons? What, did he cause the other moons to die? Were all of them habitable and then eventually they all died off? Like, what do you mean by that? What he did to one of them? Is that where that fight took place? The that thing where you fought the big giant thing? Let me read this real quick. Orbiting, but only the latter is habitable. Given the unique position of Talos 2 in this star system, as well as the presence of Cosmic Gate, we have reason to believe that this habitable environment, was not a coincidental gift of the universe. Thank you. At least it understood that. Also, I still would have questioned that more. That would make me highly concerned. It's the same thing with smashing into an invisible shield when you first send your first rocket to space from your world. If you saw this as a species, this make you immediately have a billion red flags and questions for what's really happening. But hey, you know, it'll be explained later. Okay, that was the first Agaloy War 140 years ago. Okay. Alright, that was Talos 2. Enfield Industries, now for Enfield itself. Enfield Industries is an independent company that primarily focuses on providing... I'm going to make a joke, and I just realized the color of the icon for Enfield Industries. I know why I like this game. This game is touching all the places in my sci-fi brain that I love so much. Both an anime version and sci-fi version, or no, not both an anime version, horror a little bit, not scary part of horror, certain horrors who exist in sci-fi, and then of course the actual like almost religious undertones that it's having as well to provide even more context to it. All three of these things working together make my brain go insane. But I'm gonna make. Let me read. I'll find a place to insert it while reading this. Enfield Industries is an independent company that primarily focuses on providing pioneering industrial technologies and services. The Enfield vision is to build better worlds and expand into frontiers of Talos 2. When the first scientific survey teams arrived on Talos 2, Rhodes Island and its other partners jointly founded Enfield Industries to serve as a think tank and forward prospector. The administrator led numerous Enfield geological survey teams and generated detailed maps for numerous frontier regions. After the link between Talos 2 and Terra was severed, the frontier mates, I'm going to call them that. Frontiers mates doesn't. You could just say frontier mates of the new world were forced to face the threats posed by the Agaloy and the Blight on their own. Enfield thus stepped onto the forefront and continued to do so till this very day. Enfield became an integral part of the future of Talos 2 due to its novel technologies such as Protocol Originium, teleportation, automated industry complex (AICs), controlled Originium distribution, and OMV Dijon. I forgot what OMV stands for. The only orbital vehicle of Talos 2. As dangers emerged to threaten the budding civilization of the New World, Enfield once again initiated its journey to expand its frontiers. Now UWST. I'd be more concerned that the sea becoming alive and full of Cthulhu's and flood. I mean, that's true too. I mean, y'all, because I've never met the Seaborn directly, because they're not in this game. But, that is true too. The prologue was the Endmen fighting the first war, and since it was in an Arctic environment, I assume it was where the Cosmic Gate was. That's what I was thinking, because remember it said some sort of large entity, whatever it was called, came out and was heading for the gate or something from the one we read a little while ago. So that's kind of what I assumed, at least that much. I assumed that was what stopped us from being able to get to the gate and get back to Terra. But now we know how far away that was. This also should put in perspective on certain things on how long it's actually been. So they think about now it makes sense why Perlica in them react the way they do to the Endmen. Because part of me was a little confused, like, bruh died and was basically like reborn tomorrow. Or at least so I thought. Bruh was gone for years. So, and it's like, which once again plays back into the religious thing that I keep saying with the undertones. We all know what that's referencing to. So, and see, and that triangle Originium is probably a fragment, or is one of the first 3 Originium shards. A century and 4 decades. But also, once again, this shows you that the cloning stuff that's been going on too, if you think about it. Because how old is Perlica then, really? Because she's probably been made. Whoop! Oh no! I gotta get back in there. Hold on, chat. This is what happens when you sit still for too long. I like that we've been reading so many files. It thinks we're not doing anything. Hold on, I gotta relog back in. It might be a sign I might have to wrap up. It's already 5. We might not get to finish this today. Like I said, I have something important I do have to do, but we'll log in and like read like two or three more, and then we're gonna wrap it up. I can't go no later than 5:30 because I have to respect it. I don't want to call this person too late because I don't know what their schedule is. So, when Oracle and Priestess made Originium, they made the first 3 shards. One, as of now, is being used to nurture Kesdale in current OG timeline. The other 2 were buried in the Sea of Terra. But wait, but then how did it get to Telos? Wait a minute. Didn't that fight that we did in the beginning take place near Telos too? If it did, then how did one of the first 3 shards get from Terra to Telos? Some species can live for hundreds of years. Don't know if Perlica species are one of them. Arknight, read the next message. Oh, I assume Azir found one of the 2 buried in the sea and transport. Oh, and then okay, that makes sense. Oh, right, because remember they said they sent down an Originium crystal to start birthing Originium onto Telos 2 because it didn't have it. So maybe that is what that is. Maybe you might be onto something on that. Because if that's because it does mention that in the previous file when it was saying that they were setting up Telos 2, they sent down a crystal that became basically the progenitor of the rest of the Originium on the planet. So I wonder if that's what that one is. Game time drew out. How dare they? Reddy's angry email. Alright, so let's go back to archive again. Let's read a little bit more, but then we're gonna have to probably let's go to UWST. It's where we left off. Okay, let me read pretty fast. I'm gonna take. So I'm not gonna read chat for a few minutes because we need to go and get this moving. As much as I want to jump back and forth since I'm on a time crunch, I'm just gonna read now. We're gonna get a bunch of information, and then we'll have to talk about it sadly tomorrow. This is why I said I'm canceling Uma, because since we're not gonna get to do too much today, we're gonna continue Arknights Endfield tomorrow, and I'll do some more front mission tonight after I make my phone call. But let's see, the 3 shards of Originium along with the 3 primordial veins are the progenitors of all Originium. Yeah, but they were saying that that Telos didn't have one though. So you might be onto something that they moved one of the ones that were buried in the sea to Telos 2. So that way Telos 2 could make more crystals. I'm positive Sealy has operators that are still alive to this day. Yeah, but they're not on this side of the gate though, are they? It'd be cool if they were. This is why I hope some of them do. Here's what I wonder. Here's my biggest bet. If for any of the characters that could come back from the original game, like fully, the actual version, right? Would probably be because what you want to bet at some point, unless don't spoil it if you already know, what you want to bet at some point, we're going to reactivate that gate. And we will have connection to Terra again, which means connection to OG. Which, for video game and development purposes, that's an excuse to bring in old characters to make more money. So even if you are, because I'm not against that. That's just good business. Like, even if you're a good company and you know how to make good stories like they do, you still, there's still good tactics you can use. Let's see. Hey, Sealy, Uma's canceled. Farseer said the elf. I may send Bakushin at your tam. She's 100% alive. Arknight Farseer has been trying to steal my elf in OG Arknights. LOL. Bakushin rips off own ears. Go for it, Sealy. Anyway. But the United Workers Syndicate of Talos 2, UWST, is the largest union of self-governing worker syndicates on Talos 2. It believes in the guiding law where quantitative yeah, quantitative change will transform into qualitative qualitative. I'd have to hear that one said. I've never heard someone do that with quality cues, man. The UWST was a manufacturer of most industrial and mining. It's funny that I have a problem with cues, man. Isn't that ironic? And, and mining machinery, facilities, and tools used on the planet. It also is it is also the undisputed leader of the raw materials and resource production in the New World. The history of the UWST dates back to the Age of Terra. UWST crewmates actively participated in the frontiering of Talos 2, and were the very first organization to reach the New World. UWST. The UWST. Oh, sorry, I just came up with a. Oh man, that's probably the most creative thing I've done in my head so far. I'll tell you in a minute. It had to do with what I said about the cues, and then my brain ran with that and then made a joke out of it, and then I somehow related it to making my own short skit joke, but getting the actor who played Q to work with me in the skit for what the skit would be about. It'd be like a movie 43 skit, but for Star Trek, but with me from real life. But I'll tell you what my brain did in a minute. The history of the UWST dates back to the Age of Terra. UWST crewmates actively participated in frontiering of Telos 2, and were the very first organizations to reach the New World. The UWST provided detailed professional work planning as well as brutish yet extremely powerful fleets of machinery that were essential and instrumental during the early phases of expansion across Telos 2 and the rebuilding after the First Alkaloid War. The UWST of today seems hampered by its ever-growing yet inflexible organization, but they continue to cling to the UW spirit. The United Workers symbolize humanity's construction and expansion efforts with the support of precision logistics from the Telos 2 General Chamber of Commerce, TGCC, and powerful new technologies provided by the Haas. The UWST continues to churn out one forward base after another from the gargantuan yards of their industrial mothership. Oh, Matt Gordov. After all, the UWST is the engine that drives the expansion of the human frontier. Haas. Let's see. Throws self in the plane propeller. Bacterial radio transmission boggles in today. Yeah, that would be pretty rough. Alright, so I made that joke. I'm gonna tell you how fast my brain can come up with the dumbest things in the world, but also some of the coolest at the same time. If this was like a little short movie 43 skit, is when I said, man, of course I have a problem with cues. They're annoying. I had this, and instantly my brain came up with this skit. I'm just gonna say it because I'm not gonna have the resources to ever do something like this for a while. So it's not like, or the ability to reach out if he's alive still today to the actor that played Q for this situation. Is my brain immediately like, of course I have a problem. Then Q pops up over there in the background and says, and it's like, I think we need to visit a place that will make you, it's like to make you appreciate. And then we just teleport, and he teleports me to the bloody like center column or complex of the common area of the Academy Starfleet vessel. He'd be like, what do you think about this timeline? Then fast forwards 10 seconds later, me the captain's unconscious, and I'm setting that ship to self-destruct. I'm like, I will fix the timeline. I will set it right. Oh man. Anyway, Enfield has only orbital. It has the only orbital vehicle. What the hell is the UDW industrial mothership? Makes me wonder: is that civilization band an actual band across the Telos 2 system? It might be. Maybe that's what it means. Maybe it means that mothership could be a once again colloquial. I said it right that time. Definition, meaning it doesn't mean mothership spaceship. It means mothership hub. It means the center and apex and where everything comes from for the corporation. So most likely the mothership of the UWST is Telos 2. Not literally, you know. Could be a nomadic city too, like Farseer said. Maybe they have a nomadic city on this planet. It's one of the few here, unlike on Terra. I don't know. I'm not sure on that one. It could be either in that case. Could be just a reference to the whole system as a whole, and the center being Talos too. I don't know. That one's more, it's not really important either way on that one, unless you needed to know they had a ship for some reason, so. Alright, let's go to the Haas. The Hongshan Academy of Science is the largest and most professional integrated R&D institution of Talos 2. While the Haas continues to feed almost the entirety of the civilization band and enrich the breadbaskets of the planet, it also made rapid and tremendous progress in various fields of emerging sciences. The foundation of the Haas was laid down by a surveillance team from the Yan province in real life is what that'd be referencing, but dispatched to Talos 2. During the few short hours after the First Agaloy War broke out, these Tianxis, that's definitely the Yan province. Ironically, you know why I know what that is? Dynasty Warriors. You can thank that one for that. It taught me a lot of those. Even though it's not fully based in real Chinese history, it's got a loose reference to it. A lot of the terms for certain regions are pretty accurate. Also, the Yan province is also... I don't want to get this backwards. I think that's where the Yellow... It's either the Yellow Turban Rebellion happened... Yeah, I think it's either the Yellow Turban Rebellion happened there, or that was where Dong Zhuo's province is. I can't remember. But... It's funny that I don't remember that, but I remember the actual what Tianxi is. Wait, Tianxi Gate... Wait. No, it's Dong Zhuo's territory. Because you have the Taishui Gate, which is in Tianxi. Okay. See, my brain connected the dots again. I had the chance to return to Terra via the Cosmic Gate, but they chose to stay and join the battle. This decision resulted in them and their descendants being stranded on Talos 2, with other scientific surveyors and pioneers, since these Tianxis treated themselves as representatives of the Tianxi Bureau. The Hongshan crater, discovered afterwards, was bequeathed to these Tianxis to serve as the site of their new bureau. Since the crater was extremely habitable, large scientific complexes and hydroponic facilities were built in this area. The region formally registered as the Hongshan Academy of Sciences days before the signing of the Band Accord. To date, the Haas continues to call itself an R&D institution of Yan, and govern its territories as such. It has established specialized ministries for raising livestock and crops. Occasionally, the Haas, what was it, the, Hasselfield, right? What was it, that, the guy's name from Baywatch? Did his nickname that they used to have for him. That's what I keep hearing every time I hear that. The Haas would receive criticism from its its extremely strict standards of admissions and chronic shortage of Tianxis. However, the Haas always responded by emphasizing its compliance with the provisions of the band accord. Given such commitment to the quality, professionalism, and skills of its graduates, the most people of Talos too have great respect for Haas scientists. They mentioned the SUI regulators. Do they know who they are, Farseer? Do you know who they are? Silly, tell me on Discord. Yeah, because I mean, if it's something in this story later on, don't tell me yet. Or like you said, you can share it on the Discord side. However, the Haas has always responded by emphasizing its compliance with the provisions of the band accord, given such commitment to the quality, professionalism, and skills of the graduates. Most people of Telos too have great respect for Haas scientists. Y'all thinking too much into it. As I said, it's all just computer simulation by two competing AI systems. You know what would be funny? That's literally, by the way, what Marathon's original core concept was before the new Bungie ruined it. That would have been better than what they did with it now. The irony is Tam King could be still right about this one too, being that. But that's essentially the literal core concept of the original Marathon before it became what it became today. Arknights, I sent you the primordial blueprint for Endfield, huh? Hold on. Let's take a quick look. I can't sit still too long or it'll boot us out again. And if it does that again, I gotta just call it for right now. Let me check, see what you sent. What? Oh, okay. Is that Chen? Oh, and I guess that's Perlica. Wait, hold on then. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. This looks like the blueprint I saw for Zeus earlier. I say this both jokingly and seriously. It's something James sent me. It was, you know, you can see a family tree. He showed a Greek god family tree, and when it got to Zeus, man, that tree got stupid. Let's see, allegedly Snowshine is the boogie character to build in game. I like Snowbear. You can make any character good for endgame. It's just preference on team, and some people just like to annihilate the entire screen. So some builds will be a little more efficient at doing this, but at the end of the day, you don't really. It's really up to you who you want your team to be, and what vibes for you. Ardelia is one of the main good ones, though. Like if you want suggestions and not just figure out what you like yourself for it, because like I said, you don't really have to follow what everyone else is doing. But if you want a suggestion, I will definitely say Ardelia is definitely one of the highest. Then I'd say Surtur. Well, Ardelia and Surtur together is why I'm saying that. Surtur's just good on her own. And then I'd have to say probably Pog, because I can never say his actual name. That's why I think everyone calls him Pog, because his name's hard to say. And then in Last Rites. Our endgame? Well, Snowshine's not necessarily the common in-game character you're gonna play. Most people do Surtur, Ardelia, Wolfguard, and probably Pog. Or take Wolfguard out for Pog, or take Pog out for Antel. But if you're gonna take out Pog, you're probably gonna lose way more. So you'd be better off taking out Wolfguard for Antel, for the fact he can buff, do enhancements. Pog's name is Russian. Yeah, that's why it's hard to say. I'm not good at saying Russian names. I can try it, but it's not gonna sound good. The two Sarkaz nuns are the go-to team. Oh yeah, and the two nuns. Yeah, the two nun ladies. I have one of them, right? And Jaihe's one of them. What's the other one? Is Last Right the other one, or is that a different one? Forgot what the other one is. I know Jaihe's one of them. My team rule is they all must be female. See, it's whatever you want your team to be. See, Team Temking's got a very low. He has no expectations. Is that one thing? He's like, how do I wait? Hold on, I want to word. I was thinking about no. I was gonna word it that way. I'm like, that's a little too harsh. Let's see. Temking only has one exception. If you're wielding a bow staff, you can't join the team. If you get my drift on that. I was trying to articulate that because my brain went, yeah, the first answer was not okay. Oh, Last Right's the other one. Oh, okay, so I was right about Last Right being one of the main in-game characters. But Jaihe, that's why she's not leaving the team. I do like Jaihe. She's sticking around. At least until I get the main team. Hell, I might even keep her then. I might take Administrator out and just have him watch from the sidelines. And I'd become the Dr. Doom commander and let them do the hard lifting. Because then the team would be probably Pog, Surtur, Ardelia. Yeah, Pog, Surtur, Ardelia, and Jaihe. Maybe Antel every now and then, but... No, 1 male and 3 women is perfect composite. Well, okay, that works too. So, okay, so the other stipulation is I'm the only one wielding a bow staff, is what Sam King just said. So his administrator's the only guy on the team. You see, if you get these rolls, RNG rolls, you'll get them eventually. You get what's called pity rolls as you keep playing the game. Trust me, you'll end up with Surtur almost guaranteed if you just keep rolling for the next few days. And keep playing every day and doing the story and keep progressing and earning stuff. You should eventually get, hopefully, enough to roll. It may not sound like it, but 160 rolls. Because 10 rolls counts as 10 rolls. So every time you do 10 rolls, you take 10 away from that number. So you roll with what you get until all 6-star gold. Well, yeah, you just keep rolling, which I'll show that after this if we don't have time to continue this. I might read this last one and we have to come back to this. Because there's so many more we have to read and I'm about to run out of time. So I'm going to read this one and then I'm going to go show Bacon what I'm talking about real quick. And then sadly, because like I said, what I've got to do is really important because it's covering something that's changing right now that I'm trying to get done. As I mentioned in the last stream, I've got to make this call. So we'll read this one, then I'll show Bacon what I'm talking about, and then, or Crispy what I'm talking about, and then we'll sadly have to end it and move to front mission after I make my phone call. Well, we might just repeat the same thing tomorrow. Arknights Endfield, then more front mission. We'll probably just do the same schedule tomorrow as we did today. Because tomorrow I should be able to do more of this. And I hopefully can start a little earlier. Also, Wolf is banned from my team. That suave mofo ain't getting near my... That is true. Although, you're a Scottishman, Tam King. You at least can compete a little bit. You think I would want... You think I could handle Italian Dante on my team? Even though I like him myself, just because I like Dante-like characters and stuff like that. But... yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I get you where you're coming from, but you at least get a chance though. You got that Scottish power. I'd be competing with Antonio Banderas over here. I'm like, oh. Farseer, your team is Surtur, Wolf, Sheba Girl, and Sheep, right? Maybe swap in an Ember. Oh, I might get an Ember eventually. I know I will put her on the team for fun eventually. But that's if we get her. I know Surtur's more guaranteed than me getting Ember. So I'm like, if we don't get her, I'll just build the team around Surtur and keep Ember out until I get her for a separate whatever I want to do for that build. So, no, man, it's minimum 200 to get a party of 4 or 6 star or pity. I did the math. That's 20. No, it's not, Bacon. It's not. It's the numbers you see on it. If it says, I'll show you after this. If it says 260, then it's 260 rolls. But 10 rolls count as exactly 10 rolls. So when you roll 10 rolls, 260 drops down to 250. Because if it took that many rolls, trust me, Farseer or Sealy would not have Surtur yet. One of them were what got him more luckily, but the other one was more guaranteed. A wolf and a sheep in the same team, that'd be dangerous. That would be dangerous, technically. Mine is Surtur, Wolfguard, Ember, and Sheep. Like I said, Farseer, anyways, my team is 2 dudes, 2 girls. Surtur, Wolf, Sheep, and Antel. He's only doing Antel so he can buff the fire. That's why he's doing that. He's doing that so Antel can... You're just mostly fire. You're like a pyro team, Sealy. Well, you're a seal. You're supposed to be a water element. Go get some water elements. No, I'm just kidding. What's this fire around a seal thing going on right now? It's like that sheep is not to be messed with, them. That thing gave me PTSD and OG Arknights. That's true. The Telos, okay, let's see. The Telos 2 General Chamber of Commerce, TGCC, is the most influential corporate conglomerate of Talos 2. TGCC members cover every sector of manufacturing and services, ranging from leading arms manufacturers from the Age of Terra to food catering franchises with stores along the frontier. You see, bacon character banners are 120 pulls for character with 80. Being a 50-50 guarantee 60 star. Or 60 stars. 6 stars, 60 stars. But 60, 6. I keep saying 60. 6. But yeah, what Farseer said. That is accurate. Yeah, there's no roll that's going to take you 2750. I don't know what made you think that. Wait, I don't have last rate to complete my ace team. Oh, that's sad. That actually makes me sad. Okay. Let me read this so we can go to the thing I want to show off so I can kind of explain a little bit better. It's better to show invisible than it is to explain. So let me finish reading this and then we'll switch over to that real quick before we wrap up for this data-filled episode. We didn't get to do any gameplay. But like I said, some things take precedence in IRL that I've got to do, so... Just gonna have to take that and do more tomorrow. During the First Agaloy War, the TGCC was in charge of maintaining the Talos Terra lifeline. Now that the war has ended, truck convoys stranded in the alien world continued to roar across the roads, making commercial economies, messenger-based courier services, and modern lifestyles possible in Talos 2. With hands tightly gripped around the steering wheel, the truckers cruised across the lands with headlights blazing, carrying containers filled with supplies and resources to link the growing camps, villages, and towns upon the new world. I'm sorry, I just thought something popped in my mind. It was about the thing I've got to do. I've got things running through my head, getting ready to make the phone call. Though the industrial giants of the old Terra remain a dominant force, the truckers earned the trust and respect of the Thalosians. During the war, became masters of their own destiny, and thus they transformed into the kind of conductors steering the great wheel, the TGCC. To date, the upper echelons of the TGCC prefer to call themselves the shadow investors. That's never a good word you want to hear. And proprietors of the Civilization Band. They love the quarterly financial reports and annual meetings with their shareholders. Goodness gracious, that is not a good sentence. Only in a video game universe is this a good thing, and this actually stays in a good place. Because one could argue if it wasn't for greed and evil and corruption, that actually would work. That kind of system would be good if there wasn't greed and corruption that existed in real life. But it does. So that is the worst sentence you could ever hear. As well as the splendorous beauty of the great Cosmopolis. I was gonna say cosmetologist accidentally, but that's Cosmopolis. TGCC leaders believe the practice they have codified is sufficient in defining the present and future of Talos 2. Such confidence was essential for helping humanity endure their darkest hour. But people often forget how addictive it could be. See what I mean? Even that game at the end kind of threw it in there. But that's not necessarily going to lead to good places. Alright, we're going to get out of this for a second. Remember that we're on Daizhong. That was the last one we did, was Daizhong. So try to remember that for next episode, chat. Let me go to my headhunting thing here real quick. Okay, let's go to this one. Let's use this one as an example, because this one I haven't rolled any yet. But let's use this one as the example. Which, how many days are left on this one? I gotta be careful. 6 days left. Okay. Now, I don't know if we should pull tonight. I'm trying to save up and get a bunch of pulls at once, so we can guarantee Surtur. So that way we have her at least. Even if I don't get some of my other teammates. So, Arknight, you should also read the file that pertains to Talos 2 Aurora when you collect it. I don't know where that file's at, lol. Either I missed it, sadly, hopefully not, because that means I have to go recheck every corner again. Either I missed it, or we haven't gone to the area that it's in yet. It might be in the quarry for all I know. Or, could be on the power platform. Since the power platform has to do with the ether side effect and Aurora and all that a little bit, and it's related to it, it might be up there, but who knows. Come on, Levitate, do it. We all need that context buzz in the pool. I would normally do it, but I don't want to roll on something we're not. I mean, I'm hyped, but I'm also not focused. I do think I feel. Well, okay. Here's what I'll do. I'll go half and half with you. We'll roll this one. We'll roll the normal one because it only takes normal cards. Because this takes separate cards. So yeah, we'll do a pull, a 10 pull on this one. And then tomorrow we'll do another 10 pull on this one and probably Surtur soon. But it's like we'll do a 10 pull on this one because this is the normal one. So if this one goes terrible, it won't matter too much. If Arknight gets last right, he's forever a blue man. Oh no. Don't do this to me, Farsi. No! But we do have to say, oh dang it. But we won't be able to hear the theory crafting of Arknight Town. I mean, we can do more theory crafting. We'll do that tomorrow. We have more time tomorrow. Alright, let's make a pull. I don't think that was a 6-star. I think we only got 5 stars. The normal is very rare to get a 6-star in the beginning, yeah. Whoa, but I got 3 5-stars though. Okay, that's definitely different. That was definitely luckier. It just didn't give me a 6-star. It probably almost did.
Of OPSI 7 reporting for duty.
Because that was 3 5-stars.
Automation and occasionally help with
we know who you are, Antal.
Catello Wolfgard.
Oh yes, upgrade for Italian Dante.
Give me any merc job. And as long as our contract stands, I'll be your closing thanks.
Oh, okay. Well, he's about to get a huge upgrade. He's probably gonna get put back on the team at some
Give
point.
me any merc job, and as long as our contract stands,
At least for now.
I'll be your closing thanks.
So I got 2 of them were wolf guards.
skirmisher, fluoride. Go.
Fluoride. Estella.
Why do I have to?
Estella.
Antal.
Catcher.
Catcher. Okay, who's this?
Well, look who it is.
Okay, upgrade
the
for AoE.
legendary Administrator. I picked up a couple of whispers on my way here. Curious to know which one's the most accurate. Since you don't know me well yet, here's my offer. How about I tell you a secret in exchange for a little something about you? What do you reckon?
This rabbit needs more purple. There's not enough purple in this rabbit's outfit for that sentence you just gave me. There's not. There's really not. The red's nice too, because red is one of the other colors of passion. And also blood. But still. Not enough purple. Not for that sentence. You're literally also talking about secrets. Not enough purple. But anyways. So that was our 5-star. No, Arknight will not pull on anything if we tell him.
I specialize in defensive operations, and I'm good with the blade. And I hope I'll be an effective addition to your team.
Wait, what? What happened? Oh, first year. Should we tell him about the blue man now? Wait, what? Hold up. What? Hold on. I'm sensing something that feels like power and motivation welling up in my brain. What was that? What? Huh. We talking about the one that's replacing Surtur's banner? Or the normal 5? And then I gotta start sadly wrapping it up for now, as much as I would love to continue. But I got business to attend to, and it's already 5:42. So I can't sit here for like another 30 minutes talking, but I will keep that in mind. In the Wu Ling story, the second continent introduced a dude who stole Virgil's whole outfit, who he uses a cane by... Oh, it's V, so he's like V. Like, he's lesser Virgil, but that still counts. He hasn't found all of his power and motivation yet. It's the best way to put it. Okay. I like how Farseer immediately, because she knew who you were talking about, said no, because he will not pull anything if you tell him that. Which she might be right now. But let's see. The next banner group after the Fox and Pink Wyvern. Oh, so there will be a... Okay, so Yvonne and the Fox are first. Okay. Remember to do your outposts before logging out. I can't. I don't have enough materials. Y'all don't realize how far behind I am of you guys. I don't even have enough Originium crust producing right now to keep doing that. Mostly because my factory's not up and running because we're using it to make other things. So I'm not actually making this by itself anymore. I need to improve that. That was part of today's episode. But we didn't make it that far. Because y'all forget, y'all have like these crazy industrial lines now where you can just siege your outpost. Let me show you something I've accidentally let happen to my outpost. And because I can't replenish it right now, it's regional development, right? Outpost management, right there, self. It's at 18,000. Note I only have 8,000 of my Originium crusts, but I'm not producing them right now, so I could get 8,000, but I don't really need the money right now, as you can tell at the top. Like, I can get 8,000, I'm at 524, but I'm not really using these yet because, once again, I'm still a noob and haven't made it anywhere. I will start doing this regularly once the factory is upgraded in the next episode, because that was our original plan for the day, was to get a level 1 factory up and running so I could make bombs, Originium crust to sell to just a basic material until I can make what they want, because what they really want is these, but I cannot make those yet. So, and all of these are the same price. And the amethyst bottle, I could make that, but it's only one extra bill per item, so it'd just be easier to make the Origio crust. It's way less production. So once I just get a simple refinery up that's pumping the Origio crust back in to the storage, that's when I'm gonna start focusing my camp, my refugee camps. They're still at level 1. I have done nothing with them. For the moment, at least. That's all they're good for. No, it's not, Tam King. I need those to make these. That's not all they're good for. The Originium crusts are used in everything. To say that that's all the Originium crust is good for is kind of silly. Because that's literally, like, that's how you make all these items. Maybe it's useless to you, because once again, y'all are further. Maybe y'all don't need the Originium crust now, because maybe you're using a different ore to make your equipment and stuff. But I'm not. Not yet. Keep that in mind. And so, but that's why we need to set up just a regular Ori crust. I'm just gonna call it Ori crust. We need to set up an Ori crust, probably right here. Actually, I can't right there. Hold on. I'm actually probably gonna tear this down, to be fair, when we do it, and maybe put this. Yeah, actually, probably, because this one's more complicated. I'd be better off when I get a splitter setting this up back up, because I've got enough parts, I'm pretty sure. Amethyst parts. Let me check before I end it. Yeah, I've got 8K. So, as far as amethyst parts and amethyst, whatever the other one is that you use for the weapons instead of the characters, or armor, we should have 8K should get a whole team well suited. So when we do tomorrow's episode, I'm tearing this down. This is getting removed. I'm also thinking about, now that I know I can move this, do I want to put this somewhere else? I guess my only problem with moving this is it would depend on how I lay this out. Because if, let's say I wanted to put it in a corner, or close to a corner, if it's up against the corner, it's going to block off the ports that are on that side, right? Whether it be input or output. So, I'll have to think about that. I can't get into that tonight. We don't have time, but we'll have to discuss that tomorrow. However, there is one thing I want to do before we go.
I hear Originium singing.
So, frickin'. I don't know if I can really take anybody out yet. I don't think I have a team that's better than this right now, sadly. Composition-wise. At least not a good one. But I also need corrosion. So I think Jahi has to temporarily be removed. Just because, even though I don't want to take her out. Just because for the next episode, I want to finish another season pass mission. So we're gonna need Ardelia. Oh, frick. Damn it. I forget you gotta confirm it.
I feel much safer when Professor's here with me.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and outfit her with a weapon real quick, and then we're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna give her the weapon we just got for her from the logging in.
I heard your footsteps, Professor. Could you stand a little further, Professor? I don't want to hurt you by accident.
Secondary, oh, this is made for her, yep. Secondary attribute plus 16% after wielder consumes corrosion. Target enemy suffers arts damage, taken 10% plus for 25 seconds. Effects the same name, do not stack. And then let me level it up real quick. Do I have any more useless weapons I can get rid of? We can get rid of that now. One of these now. I think I'm just going to keep one of each of every weapon because I just don't see a point otherwise. There we go. Alrighty then. Okay. That should be pretty good. Because we only want one spare of each. It looks like I've still got a 20 of that. I should have gotten rid of that, but that's okay. It made it to level 20. You know what? Let's go change Antal's real quick. Give him something at least a little bit better. His... Okay, that one's just main attribute. What is his main attribute then? Intellect as well. Okay. So... he needs this one, but we'll give him the level 20 one.
A new and uncalibrated weapon.
And that way we can get rid of these when we want to level something up. Okay. Alright, cool for now. Operation manuals completed some more stuff. Level up a weapon. Let me take that real quick. Hey, authority level 21. Nice. Alright, cool. Let's now let's end it so I can go do my thing, and then we're gonna do front mission 3 after I do my phone call. Return the login screen.
Arknights.
Switch to amethyst parts to sell or not. Oh, wait, was that one of the selections? Wait, was it? I'll look it later. I don't have time to look at it right now. I'll log back in on my own tonight and I'll check that. If that was, then I'll switch it to that. I didn't see that. I must have been blind. I know amethyst bottles was one of them, but I didn't see amethyst parts as a choice that you could give them. By the way, did y'all notice Ardelia has shoes modeled after goats? Or sheep, I should say. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, considering what's always with them. Okay, then I'll switch it to that. I must have been blind and didn't see that for some reason. Because we can infinitely make those. So I'll give them that then. I didn't realize they could take that. That's just good then. Cool. So what do you think of the Arknights world building / backstory art? Now, well, I'll give a quick a quick answer. My big answer I'll do tomorrow. We didn't get to technically finish reading all the backstory anyway, so I've only still know some of it still. But we'll get through that tomorrow. What was I gonna say? My brain's in too many directions, but I do think it's. I mean, I already kind of said it. I love it. I mean, I'm loving this so far. This is, even if it turns out it's not officially related to Xenosaga in any way, I guarantee you there is some spiritual succession happening from someone inside the company, or multiple people. Because the inspiration and the stars aligning are too good now. It's one or the other. Even if it's not an official continuation or successor of Xenosaga's universe and what happened at the end of all of that, I do think it's related spiritually in a heavy way. So, there's a story Zealeys gives every cutscene. But I am super excited. I'm very excited to continue more of it. I'm loving Arknights Endfield. I haven't had a good anime RPG game like this in a while. I mean, probably since Xenosaga, to be fair. I mean, Code Vein's was good. But it's different. It's a different kind of good. Like, this kind of RPG, role-playing, like, anime-style game, universe game, it's become rare. There used to be a lot of them, actually. Pretty decent ones as well. Maybe not all of them were great. They were decent. But I'm glad the Arknights Endfield kind of brought that back a little bit. Dawn of War 4 will just be blind fun calling it. Oh, it'll be definitely blind fun. You're 100% right. That's the whole reason what made Dawn of War fun to begin with. Which is good they realized that. That's why I'm excited for it. Like I said, I'm a huge, not totally biased towards Dawn of War 4 at all. There's just one reason alone why that game is going to get played on this channel. It doesn't even need to be even if it had been slightly not as good, probably still would have played it just for that one story. And then would have probably stopped after that. But it's a good game as well, as we can tell, so we're gonna get something amazing to experience, and the original what Dawn of War remembers what it used to be like, and I love it. I'm off to get my Sandleaf Empire started. Also, the shelters change with prosperity levels. Oh, do they? That's cool. I like that it actually physically gets better. I like games that when they show your progress has something happening. Either by reward or both. By visual context, like you just said. Like the settlement actually improves as you improve it. So. The storm is gonna have Sandleaf for name. Oh yeah, the Sandleaf Empire. Also, there was a new Dark Angels lore you missed. Oh, was there? I'll have to read it and see what it's about. We don't have time to talk about it right now, sadly. The shelter at level 4 has actual buildings and stuff. Ooh. See, like I said, I like when they do stuff like that because it kind of shows you've reached a certain point that this thing has reached a noticeable difference, right? Something you're going to see in something hilarious tonight. Lion knows of Gilliman and sent him this one message. What? Okay, see that please, Warhammer, whoever wrote that one right there, whoever you had in the seat for just who wrote that message alone in your lore building, put them in the command seat. We're gonna have to end it. I can't talk about that right now. That made my mind go poof. I was like that APC in front mission yesterday when I shot it with a shotgun. That's how I just felt. I'm even gonna make Sandleaf chewing essential oils. Wow, okay. You still have a lot of other Nexus files to find anyways. Have a good one, Arknight. That's true, we do. But once we read all of them, we're going to treat it like we do the network in front mission. We can read them as we go after that, though. We don't have to, read them all at once. That's why I did most of them today. We would have finished them, but we'll finish them tomorrow and then work on the factory and hopefully get to the quarry and complete that at the same time, hopefully. But I'm going to go make my important phone call. It's already 6. It's getting really a little too late. Like I said, I'm already on here too long. So, and then I'm going to get off here. And then tomorrow, or later, in about, I'm going to say about an hour, probably, for sure. I want I want to give long enough to be able to take my time and like talk to this is a friend of mine from church that's helping me out with something. So I need to talk to him about it so I can start making my way towards something, hopefully. So with what my plan's been going on and things I just talk about IRL and why the channel is gonna be a little crazy right now, but I'm gonna go do that, and then afterwards, in about an hour, Front Mission 3 will be starting. So look for it around at latest 7:30. It'll either be at 7 or 7:30, unless for some reason I can't get a hold of him right now. Then you'll see it in about like 30 minutes at tops. But because I gotta retype either way, so. But alright, chat. I hope y'all all enjoyed watching tonight. Gift everyone Sand Leaf flip flops. By Arknight, Dawn of War 4 story is being made by John French, and the guy who makes the good parts of 40k lore. So we might see some things in Dark Angels. Ooh, oh, I hope so. We'll talk more about that tomorrow, but that message alone. See, you remember what I said. What happens if both of them finally get contact with each other? See, that's the stuff I'm looking for. That's what Warhammer needs. And because the Lion's very different now, I mean, I can only imagine how powerful those two will be together. That's all I'll say. But until next time, everyone. Let's see. I have Surtur at a Who's Y'all's 100% Trust Operators. We'll talk about that next time. I don't even know how to do that on mine. So who knows with mine. So we'll talk about that next time. But y'all have a good one. Peace and love. Big shout out to Sir Sealy and Urban Mech Farseer, my moderators. And massive shout out to Crispy Bacon. And Tam King. My brain's melting. I'm trying to speed up. Massive shout out to Crispy Bacon and Tam King for joining in the chat as well. If you ever see a chat party up, Crispy, like if you ever see my chat party up and you want to join in and you need help with like Arknights Endfield, just let me know. Like on the PlayStation chat, if you ever see me and Tam King in the chat, or if I'm just have a chat open and you need to join up and you need help with Arknights, then I'm always open to try to help figure things out, or help you get some progress if you need some help. So let me know on that as well. And see, I'm about to call him. What's up? Oh, how you gonna get? Even going around? How you gonna get down there? That car is almost halfway covered in snow. You're gonna be. Well, okay. I need to end the stream just in case you cut the power then accidentally. Okay. No, I'm gonna just keep. But anyway, chat. Give me your friend UID. I need to board your ship this instant. First year I told you not to give him gifts. Yeah, Sealy wants to know him. Alright, well, we're gonna end it on that. We're gonna leave where Farseer's mysterious gifts have reached their target. But anyways, until next time, peace and love, everyone. Big shout out to everyone in chat. And I will see y'all around, at latest, 7:30. So hope y'all enjoyed, and until next time, I hope to see y'all later tonight. Peace and love, everyone. Bye!